Hi there, in this video I want to take a look at the loop cut and slide tool. So we're going to use this cube and we're going to take look at the tool first, and then we're going to take a look at the shortcut key because they work slightly different. So I'm just going to tab into edit mode here, and the tool is available here on the tool shelf. You can toggle this with T, by the way, if you need to, and click it right here. This is the loop cut and slide tool. If we hover our object, you can see that we get a preview of where our loop will be added. So you can see you hover an edge like this, and it will go through that edge around in a circle like this. And if I click, it immediately just places down that loop cut like this in the middle of those on this edge here that it's intersecting. So if I want to place this a bit more granularly, I can click and hold, and then I can just slide it where I want it. So like there and there. So that's the basics of how the actual tool works. Now I'm gonna just Control Z and remove those, and now I'm gonna go back to the selection box here. And I'm gonna use Control and R. And if I hit Control R, you can see that I get a similar effect here. But this time, if I click, I get into sliding without holding the mouse button. So that's one of the main differences. So I can just place it here, for instance. And if I want to place the cut into the middle, because it's very easy to just start moving this immediately, but then I can just right click to have it snap to the middle. So that's the difference there. Using either the tool or the shortcut key, I still get a loop cut and slide menu down here for this operation. And here I can select the number of cuts, for instance. I can smooth them out, so I get a smoothing of the like a curve, and I can change the fall off of this curve just by selecting some other shape here. I can hold Control as well and just scroll my mouse across here to change the fall off there. The factor will determine which edge the loop cuts are leaning towards, kind of like the slide that we had before. We can also use even and flipped here, and I'm gonna show those a bit later. But for now, you can also decide the number of cuts by scrolling your mouse wheel while this is active, and you can create a whole bunch of cuts at the same time, just like that. We can also, instead of scrolling the mouse, just type any number like 4, then we get 4 cuts, or 400 maybe, and then we get a whole bunch of cuts here, and the viewport starts to lag, so I'm just gonna undo that. But if we are creating a whole lot of cuts for some reason, then it might be easier to just type the number instead of having to scroll our wheel to infinity. Alright, so let's delete this now, and I'm gonna add a, let's say, code instead. I'm gonna grab that with G and Z. I'm gonna edit mode and hit 3 to go into face select. I'm gonna select this and extrude that down. I'm gonna use this shape. I'm actually gonna take this here, go into vertex select and select some random vertices here. Let's see here. To demonstrate how this works, I'm just gonna grab those up. And maybe something like that. So now we have some irregularities on this loop here. So if we now make a loop around here, you can see that our loop also becomes irregular because it's placing it in the middle of each edge that's across here. So if I want to adjust this and maybe have just a straight edge across, I can say even, and I can flip between which one of these edges is going to be the even one. So it's going to be even with the top one. Then I want this, and I can slide this up, and you see that they are exactly even. or I can flip it to the bottom and those will be exactly even. So that's the use of these two checkboxes here. Also, if I want to create a loop cut this other direction, you can see that it's immediately cut off, right? And that is because a loop cut can only go through quads. We need 4 vertices and 4 edges in order to a loop cut to go through it, else it will just stop. And up here we only have triangles, so the loop won't know where to continue. So you to continue to the right or to the left. It can't know, so instead it just stops there. Same at the bottom here, it just stops at anything that's not a quad, and this is an n-gon with very many vertices around here. So it's gonna stop there as well, just ending the line. Alright, so I think that's all I want to cover about the loop cut and slide tool. So I hope you found it interesting, and if you're interested in more edit mode tools, there is a link in the description to an article with about 30 different tools and how they work. So check that out if you're interested, and thanks for watching. Bye.